Hello, this is Yahweasel. Let's Scratch an Itch.io. It's the show where I play a randomly selected free game from itch.io every week, and most of the time it's probably not even a game. Actually, most of the time it is a game, but sometimes it's not, and this time it is, but kind of. It's an experimental dream game, whatever that means. According to the website, this is a short experimental twine game that makes use of light, color, and ASMR-ish sounds. I have not heard any sounds from it. Sounds might not be working here. We'll see. A game for professional dreamers and beginners alike. I don't know if I count as a professional dreamers. For anxious and stressed out people, or for everyone who just wants to relax. Adjust your dreams according to your wishes and dream the most wonderful dream. So this is probably not a game in the classical sense, more of an experience. Let us experience this game. Oh, this is by witchglitch.itch.io. And there will, of course, be a link in the description below. Let's dream and mash up. Do you want to enter a dream? Can I choose no? That would be a great way to start the game. I guess, sure. Do you want to enter a connection to the unconscious mind? That's interesting. It actually goes unbold if you mouse over it for a bit. Do you want to enter a form of madness? Always. I live there. Bizarre hallucinatory mental activity. That is what a dream is. Do you want to enter a dream? You already asked me that, but I guess you asked it in about 6 different phrasings, so sure. Dreams are blurry. Dreams are wild. Fall asleep and don't look back. Blend your dreams and don't wake up. Will it blend? It's this special moment before you fall asleep. One half of your consciousness is sleeping already, and the other half is free to do whatever it wants. Regardless of how bad everything becomes, you can flee. You are allowed to flee into a world where you can move free, and everything happens for you. But you don't dream before you fall asleep, and half of your consciousness is sleeping already. You dream in REM sleep, which is the deepest form of sleep. So that's... it's very poetic, but 1000% incorrect. You can do whatever you want. What do you want? I want to be... Can I be... well, okay, in between inside and outside. Dream generator initialize, logical paradoxical dream, REM phase starting, sleep activating. Go! You open your eyes and find yourself in your room. You feel a bit disappointed. Did the dream generator not work? But at second glance, your room seems different. You look around and cannot see how exactly it has changed. But somehow the bookshelf in your room draws you in. You approach the large wooden rack which has always been in this room and never has been moved in its lifetime. But now the time has come. You know what to do. Disturb the shelf from its slumber. It is very heavy at first, but finally you are able to move it. Behind the rack, you see upset spiders. You can also see balls of dust and hair as big as your fist. You call them dust mice, and then you see what you're looking for. Behind layers of white paint, you can identify subtle outlines of a hidden door where the rack has been, but it's behind the spiders. Jumping to the side because they've never seen a human soul before. You can almost hear the dust mice squeaking. Ah, you see what you're longing for. With a sharp knife you get from the kitchen, you trace the outlines of the door and free it from the wall. And then you try to open it. Turns out audio does work. The door made the first sound of its life. Behind the door you see a narrow, dusty hallway, but not the end of it. Go further. You go through the long, narrow hallway. It was a portal to another dimension, a safe behind a picture, a secret society, a password with 10 digits and numbers, letters and special characters. It was a cryptic message in a secret code. It was a world under the bed, an hallway between the bookcase, a cellar door, words between lines, a labyrinth, a message in a bottle, an underwater cave, an holy mountain, and hidden meeting, an hidden door to an hidden room. I'm trying to drop the H because it obviously intends me to. It is a secret passage to your secret place you always dreamed of. A place of your own. A place where you can be. A place that still belongs to you even when you don't have any money for the rent. A place where you can create or just listen. A place where you can hide. A place where no one finds you. Your secret place is a library. I don't want it to be a library. A garden? God, no. Those are my only options? Oh, shit. Okay, I guess it's a library. You open the door and see a library in front of you. A library with bookshelves reaching to the ceiling, filled with books. Books with leather bindings, multicolored books, gigantic books, tiny books, picture books from your childhood that fascinated you so much, but lost a long time ago in the dark recesses of the cellar. You see books you always wanted to read but never had the time, books you borrowed from friends and never got back, books you borrowed to friends and never got back, books by people who never had the chance to write one, books who never got published, softcover books and hardcover books. You wander through the long corridors of the library and explore it further. You wander through the large library and corridors with bookshelves and hear the whispering of the books. You even find your own books, your old discarded diaries. You once thought everything in it was embarrassing, but now, as you are reading parts of it again, you can accept your former inner thoughts, your cries and whispers. In this library, you don't have to create anything, and you can just listen. You take a book from one of the shelves and decide to sit at the large windowsill, in a cozy armchair beneath a fireplace, in a large hammock in the middle of the library. Let's go with the windowsill. The view out of the window is amazing. The library is actually a lighthouse on a cliff near the sea, in the middle of a thick forest, surrounded by a snowy meadow. On the top floor, I'm in a large city. Let's go with surrounded by a snowy meadow, because I live in Canada. You make yourself comfortable on a cushion on the windowsill and begin to read. You read a passage. And another one. The sound of the pages turning was the sound of magic. The dry, liquid feel of paper under fingertips was what magic felt like. Sleep is confusing. Dreams are baffling. The concept of transitioning from one perceived reality to another is tolerated madness. I'm listening to the sound of pages turning. And as you are reading, you forget time. And as you are reading, you also forget where you are and who you are. And are everything at once. Here you can read all the books and live all the lives you want. Loose yourself between the pages. Stay strong through your pain, grow flowers from it. You have helped me grow flowers out of mine, so bloom beautifully, dangerously, loudly, bloom softly, however you need, just bloom. And then it's time to wake up. You decide to wake up and slowly open your eyes. At first you don't know where you are or who you are, but slowly you are starting to remember. You feel so well rested after this little afternoon nap. You must have dreamed something nice, but you remember just little glimpses that words in your mind cannot describe, just images and feelings. The end. It's never the end. You can always keep on dreaming. Well, thanks to Lola for the text. I have to say, Lola, for the text. So, you clearly don't speak English as your first language, and if you do, then my apologies for saying that, but I think your English is really, really good for someone who doesn't speak it as a first language, because there are some definite prepositional issues, the an H thing, unless you just have an accent that drops all of the H's, that was a bit weird. Lots of little sort of very, very minor issues, but given that it's sort of this poetic style to it, I was really impressed, actually. So I'm gonna hope, Lola, that English is not your first language, because if it is, then maybe you need a little bit more practice. But if it's not, you're doing really, really well. Book, song, and movie excerpts from there. Like I said, you can download this if you want to have your own dream. This was a very strange one. Very, very unique. Next week, another random game that might be more game-like. Until then, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like below. Cheers from Yahweasel.